Hello, fellow human! Welcome back to another Dank Doggo slash Choosing Beggars. We have 7 stories in total for you guys today. The first story is posted by you slash Anon98199 with the title of Coworker Complains About Free Pizza. So one of my coworkers is a huge choosing beggar, like aggressive choosy to the point that he will bully people who are buying him free things to get exactly what he wants. This normally doesn't affect me, as I've learned to just tell him to screw off. Of course, he always complains and pretends that I just attack him out of nowhere, but that's not the point of this story. But unfortunately, the person who does all of the food ordering and general paperwork stuff in our office is a super sweet old lady that isn't comfortable telling people no. One day, we had pizza for lunch meeting, and we all realized that the favorite pizza of everyone in the office, which she only ordered one of at the time, she's learned to order more, was obviously different. I forgot exactly what got left off, but half of it was not what it normally comes with. I went and talked to the person who ordered it, and she straight up told me that CB had stood by her desk and basically berated her until she changed half of the pizza to be what he wanted because he didn't like some of the topping. He wanted the whole pizza, but thankfully, she made him compromise. This kinda ticked me off because of my favorite pizza was ruined and he bullied this woman who we all affectionately called the office mom. But whatever, right? It's free pizza, I'll just get something else and I will live. The straw that broke the camel's back was when I noticed that he didn't even touch the pizza. He was eating a different one. I decided to casually ask why he hasn't touched it. Come to find out that he didn't actually want any during that lunch. He knew he wanted something else, but he figured he might want some leftovers later in the week, so he had her change the order. So basically, this mother ducker bullied a sweet old lady and changed the pizza order for the one pizza everyone in the office wanted, just off the chance he might want leftovers later. So, you want to guess what I did? I ate it. All of it. I didn't want more than one piece, but I ate all 6 pieces of half of pizzas just so he couldn't have any. You can bet your butt he complained about it too. I just looked back and I was like, oh sorry, did you want some during this meeting? Cause if I had known you wanted today, I would have saved you some. He glared at me for about a week and I felt I just ate Thanksgiving dinner, but worth it. Well, that was absolutely brilliant of OP. The CB didn't deserve a single piece of pizza after what he did. We have the second story written by you slash whom. Coffee drinkers wanted to sit by my table at the coffee shop and wanted me to move. I was sitting at a table at my local coffee shop drinking coffee using my laptop, earbuds in. I feel a tap on my shoulder. I look up to find a 30-ish something couple staring at me. I take an earbud out and said, yes? To which the woman replied, hi, could we sit here please? I replied, oh sure, and I tried to slide myself and my stuff over as far as I can. The table is built for 2, but you can fit 3 if you try. The couple sets their belongings on the floor. A minute or so goes by, and I feel a tap on my shoulder again. The conversation went as such. Me, yes? CB woman, we're going to sit down now, lats in hand. Me, alrighty. CB woman, and you're moving? Me, no. CB woman, you said we can sit here. Me, sit with me, I thought you meant. CB man, annoying exhale laugh. CB woman, there's not enough room for 3 here. Me, you can sit with me if you'd like, or you can find somewhere else to sit, I don't know. CB man, there's nowhere else to sit. We got our coffees for here because you're giving us your table. Me, I don't know guys, you can sit here with me if you'd like, up to you. Earbuds back in. I go back to what I was doing, look up 30 seconds later, they are still staring at me. 3 minutes or so later, and they're across the room staring at me, talking to each other, bags and lets in hand. 5 minutes later, and they're sitting at a newly vacated table. I leave probably 15 minutes later as I pass their table and CB woman tells me to have a very nice rest of the day, sir. It seems sarcastic. Oh man, people can become so passive-aggressive over just a freaking table spot. And the worst part is that it's not even theirs in the first place. Next up, we have the third story shared by you slash Mammoth26. offered to purchase the parents a home to live in so they could pay off their debts, wanted their debts paid instead. My parents are currently over 1 million in IRS debts. It is possible that if you do prison time and continue to ignore it while interest and fines accumulate, they have over 1 million in assets. They came to my siblings and I, who are both late 20s, and asked if we could help them out. Siblings and I discussed our options on what we can do to help them out without severely putting the next X amount of years of our well-being in jeopardy by personally taking on heaps of debts. We came to them and told them that we could purchase a downsized but a very nice home for them to live in rent-free, but the title would stay in our name. They currently live in a 7,000 square feet, 4-bed, 5 baths home for 2 people. They came back and said, you pay off the 1 million or no go, since it is not fair that they would have to sell their home and we don't need to be involved in their finances. Anger ensued and we were treated to a lecture about our moral failings as children. Haven't spoke to them since. Just between you and me, since that day, I don't plan on giving them a dime. Holy freaking crap! A home with 5 freaking baths and only 2 people live there? Like that is some insane luxurious lifestyle they got there. And yet, they still got the nerves to ask their children in the 20s for money. Moving on to the 4th story shared by u/the-nest90. My mother is the CB. This was approximately 3 years ago. Some background. My mother, I use this term loosely, was an alcoholic turned drug addict. This was the point where she quit drinking. We just didn't know it was because she was hitting the drug hard. My husband and I had 3 vehicles. 2 awesome vehicles and something that was a notch above a beater. At this point, I was hugely pregnant and living 3 hours away from her. She played a factor in our move. She was sober from alcohol and was trying to get her life back on track. Or so I thought. She calls me and tells me she got a job but needs a car. I knew what she was getting at but thought if she was bettering herself, I have no use for the extra car. I gave it to her with explicit instructions to transfer the title immediately. I even quote-unquote loaned, knowing it was to give her the money to get insurance so she could do so. I did the insurance myself because I didn't quite trust her yet. 2 weeks later, I get a call from the tow yard. They have my car after the driver, my mother, was arrested for illegal drug possession. They asked what I want to do with the car. I said I would think on it and call them back. This was a few days after she got arrested and had already apparently made bail. I call her and lose my ducking mind. She, like all the narcissistic butthole do, claim it was a misunderstanding and of course she isn't on use of drug. It was her friends, blah blah blah. Then I ask her, what is the plan for the car because I was ready to sign it over to scrap it to pay for the impound fees. She begs me not to and uses my pregnancy hormones to her advantage, swearing it wasn't hers. It was a shock to me that she would use drug and pregnancy hormones are a sham, so I believed her. Now, I have to make 6-hour trip to get this ducking cars out of impound. At this point, the fees are more than the ducking car's worth, but I figure her money, her problem. We get there and they ask for payment. She looks at me and I said, go ahead. She says, but it's your car. Friends, I lost my ever-loving mind in the middle of this tiny shop. I tell them to forget it. I'm leaving. What do I need to sign for them to scrap it? He was nice enough to say we could clean it out. She insisted I don't help. Fine by me. She loads my car up with a lot of expensive crap. I'm just thinking to myself, where the duck does she get this? Oh, sweet summer child that I was. We didn't talk much and I thought maybe work was going well. I'm still visibly pissed, but she's still my mom and I wasn't going to leave her stranded. She finishes up and gets in the car. Not 5 minutes later, a pipe falls out of her pocket. I don't remember what happened next. The world went red. I just remember laying out how much she inconvenienced me and how stupid I was to believe her. It dawned on me that she just loaded my car with the crap she likely stole. She says to me, well, if you would have just paid for the fees, we could have avoided this. What the duck? I kick her out of the car in God knows where. She said, well, what about my stuff? I tell her it isn't her stuff and drove my fat, pregnant sore from sitting in the car for hours but to the police station and gave it to them. And that, my friends, is the last time I spoke to the birth giver. Well, that sounds terrible. Made me appreciate my parents more than ever. The fifth story is shared by u/Kurosayan99. New kid wants quote-unquote professional sweets. I work at a car dealership and we were celebrating the shop's foreman's birthday today. He asked me to make him cupcakes and I happily obliged, baking 5 dozen for everyone. I was up until the wee hours of the morning perfecting them and proudly set them out in the break room, knowingly that they are always the first thing everyone heads for. However, apparently my cupcakes are not on par for the new kid in parts. I watch him take a bite and scrunch his nose up and spit the cupcake out on the next try to the rest. I'm M and the new kid is NK. M: are you okay? Are you allergic? NK: these are disgusting. I was told we would have a professional baker making these. Me: a little hurt, but not wanting to blow up on the kid. I always am the one to bake for our parties. NK: what's the point of having a party if you don't have cupcakes from expensive bakery 25 miles away? Me: I'm sorry you don't like them. I've never had a problem before. NK: well, these techs eat anything in front of them, even those dry cupcakes. Me: okay, then just don't eat them. I don't know how it was at the other places you worked, but if you're given free food here, you don't complain. NK: whatever, no one else is going to even touch these. He stormed out and I rolled my eyes thinking he'll just drop it. Sadly, no. I was called in by HR later that day saying we had an anonymous complaint. Apparently, I had refused to let him eat any of the cupcakes, telling him to go buy his own. The complaint was instantly dropped, but I'm still amazed as how entitled this kid who has been working here for less than a month can be. After that day, I had a meeting with the shop foreman, called the kid in, and fired his butt. The brat thought it would be funny to hide half a dozen of keys before he left. His dad called in, made him come back, and I watched while he shamefully took them out from behind a cabinet. Also learned that he has been posting pictures of ROs, which have customers' phone numbers and address on his Snapchat, asking his friends to harass them. So that is a potential lawsuit, but I'm not getting involved in it. Ugh, it's the worst when one of an unappreciated person ruins it for everyone. Like, even though 99% of the group was probably very appreciative, you always remember the one jerk. On to the sixth story shared by u/Duke New Combi. Yet another New Year's Eve presumptuous choosing beggar. How dare we actually go out and celebrate New Year's Eve ourselves instead of being available to babysit her, little grunt? As it says on the title, my stepdaughter likes to party with her husband, usually going out drinking or having a hangout at her or someone else's home, blazing up and getting stupid drunk. Since kids tend to complicate this, she never spares no opportunity to pawn them off on someone else for both important and trivial reasons. New Year's Eves are no exception. Usually, my wife and I act like the stereotypical old couple who just like to stay around the house and watch movies and look at the fireworks on TV, or listen to gunshots outside, but long story. She calls my wife the other day asking to bring the little ones over. In the previous years, it wasn't a problem because we had no plans, but this year was a no, as I actually planned something for us to do this year. She commenced complaining to the rest of our family how selfish we were, and what was she supposed to do for New Year's Eve, and how inconvenient it was for her that we change up on her because you don't really need to go anywhere anyway. Guess old people need to stop living and enjoying crap because me. Once you have a kid, that sort of is your priority. It's no one else's job to feed, clothe, or care for it but you. If people help, that is a plus, but I can't stand entitled people like this. On to the seventh story shared by u/Duck of the Fresh. I'll sample everything you have on tab. Bit of backstory, I work at a small brewery as a bartender in the Chicagoland area, and because we're so small, the customer satisfaction is key, aka being a huge pushover. We give out samples when people ask for profit margins on beer are quite high, but we like to limit them to 2, 3 if the person is kind per purchased beer. So, a few weeks ago, it's a busy Saturday, and an older couple comes in and slide up to the bar and grab a seat. Both the other bartender and I are helping the other customers, but we both say hi to acknowledge that we see them and we will be there ASAP. The person I'm currently with asks for a sample for a specific beer, and immediately after trying it gets a pint. Yay, efficiency! I go up to the couple, woman is CB, husband will be a sad man. Me, hey guys, welcome, how can I? CB, what did you just give that lady? Me, pardon? CB, in that tiny glass. What did you give her? Me, oh, just a sample of beer to make sure she liked it before buying. CB, that sounds good, I'll have that. Me, I'm sorry, would you like to try that same beer? She looked at me as though I was a complete idiot. She signed loudly at her husband and then started talking obnoxiously slowly as though I didn't understand English. CB, what is hard to understand? I want a sample. Me getting frustrated. Right, what beer would you like to sample? CB, I'll just try everything you have on the tab. I honestly thought she was joking at this point. My customers and I usually give each other a hard time. It's all in good fun. I chuckled and didn't move. Big mistake, I guess. CB, what do you think is so funny? Me, you want me to give you a free sample of 20 beers that I have on tap? CB, that's what I said, young man. Jesus, isn't this your job? Me, well, it's my job is to sell beer, not to give it out for free. Tell you what, I'm gonna go help a couple other customers. The bar had become pretty full unserved customer at this point, and I didn't want this shrew monopolizing all of my time. You take a look at the menu, and I'd be more than happy to grab a couple of samples for you in a couple of minutes. I started to walk away, and this woman snaps her fingers in my face. PSA to all of my bar patrons out there, please do not do this, most tenders hate it, and we'll make it a point that you don't get help as often as other customers. It is very rude. CB, get back here, young man, you haven't helped us at all. You're a small business, and you need support from your locals. As said, I want to sample what you have to offer, and you're obligated to do so, so chop chop. Me, no. CB, excuse me? Me, I'm not obligated to do anything for you. I ask what you want, you tell me, I bring it, you pay the money. This is our business transaction, you don't get to boss me around. CB, this is ridiculous. You can't expect to succeed while treating your customers like this. I demand to see your manager. No, this has never happened to me before, and I have been waiting for it to finally happen. I had been promoted to manager a year ago. Me, that's awesome, let me get him. I extend my hand. My name is Doug of the Fresh. I currently manage the tap room. Is there a problem here? CB, mild shock and the supreme annoyance. If you're the manager, and how are you comfortable speaking to customer like this? Me, well, that's the thing. You aren't a customer. Customers pay for things. As such, if you aren't interested in making a purchase, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave. CB, this is why people hate craft beer. You're a bunch of snobs and buttholes. Me, thank you so much for coming in. I'm sorry you feel that way. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend. CB and sad man, who didn't say a word the entire time. Poor soul. Get up and angrily walk towards the door where we have the fridge of 6 packs to go. I start helping other customers finally, only to be snapped at again by CB, who was holding a 6-pack. After finishing with the customers, who had been very patiently and politely been waiting, and I come back over to her. Me, hi, how can I help you? CB, I want this. Me, okay, sure, that will be 11 bucks. CB, 11 bucks for a 6-pack? I won't pay it. Me, well, that's fine, you can leave it up here with me and I'll put it back. CB, but I want it. Me, okay, that will be 11 bucks. CB, I'll give you 8 bucks. It's not like you need all the money. Give me discount, I'm trying to support you. Me, ma'am, please leave. That was a condensed version of the events. I was just trying to make it as short as possible. I have a ton of other stories of people acting like this, but that was the freshest on my mind. Well, I'll take 20 beer samples, please. You guys do accept payment in exposures, correct? I'll make sure to post a video with over 100 views on YouTube. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Dank Doggo appreciates your time. See you guys next time.